Oh, hey, what's going on? About to start making some cuts. It's been a while since I've done an impromptu kind of live. I didn't do one this weekend, so I apologize about that. We're going to do one now while I'm killing some time. I got some chances to wave, so I'm going to go ahead and wave. But I got my trusty notebook with all my measurements. I'm going to start cutting for another corner diorama. I got to get that out here in the next couple of days. About 10 days, really. Still a short amount of time. And then I got a couple other dials I'm working on. So it's, as you can tell, it's kind of cold here. I don't have heat in the shop, so I'm trying to stay warm. But anyway, I'm going to get to it. Make some cuts. Make sure I get a sharp blade, which I don't think I do. So I'm going to get a sharp blade. Okay, I think I got one. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting. Not any people on tonight, so that's cool though. But the first piece is going to be the base. I make my base about 20 by 20, so that'll be the base platform. Ryan, I'm sorry, but I haven't shipped yours yet. It's going out tomorrow though. I have it packed up. But this is the 20 by 20 base. This bottom piece, the next piece of this layer will be the sidewalk and street platform, or interior platform, which would be 14 by 15. I'm going to go ahead and cut those now. So whenever you're making your cuts, material is always precious. I don't care how cheap it is. You still have to go get it from somewhere, so it's considered special. So always, measure twice, cut once, right? And especially on these 2 by 2 pieces, there's always a bowed in. And I've heard, who was it, Crashbox, talking about this before, and it's the way they cut it that actually caused that warp. So you want to look for that, and you want to cut that off as best as you can. So you can kind of see it here. I don't know how well it shows up, but there's this line. It's a weird faint line, but that's where it kind of curved. So you want to get that off, right? You don't want those pieces on. So we'll go ahead when we make our cuts. So this is 24 by 24. I need 20 by 20, so I can definitely cut it off. So we'll go ahead and cut that off. After I get everything marked up. And guys, I see all the waves. I appreciate it. I just can't reach over there. I got short arms, so I appreciate it. Here's my wave. Hey, Brandon, what's going on, man? Just make sure I get some straight edges here. Alright, so you got trusty straight edge, T-square. Have these in a couple sizes is always best practice. Well, best practice. It's in your benefit to have a couple different sizes of these. Metal's a good choice so your blade doesn't screw it all up. You'll still probably screw it up, but at least you'll get some longer life. So you're going to see me here make my cuts. You just want to go slow and steady and have a very sharp blade. So I particularly don't care about the sides here because it's going to have that the look of broken off asphalt anyway. The sides, so it'll be fine. Greetings, newcomers. All right, yes. Here we go. Sharp blade. You don't want to go very deep on the first initial cuts. You want to gradually get deeper. And like I said, nice and slow. Patience pays off here. So you want to keep, as you're cutting, try to stay at a 90-degree angle. You follow through on that last cut or you'll pull and you'll get a weird cut at the end. Going in a little deeper. Alright, and then I cut deep enough where I'm just gonna now, since it's scored, just pop it off. And then we'll go to the other side. And I always find that there is a grain in the fibers of this, so one way does cut better versus the other. But either way, just take your time. It'll all work out. Blade's not as sharp as I thought it was. So what I'm ending up doing here is pulling the material versus cutting. So I'm not getting a great edge here. So I'm going to have to go back and clean that up. That sucks. We'll get another blade. Grab two. Blades are something you want to have many of, along with, oh yeah, much easier, along with replacements. But I'll show you how bad this cut looks, because you guys are going to trip out and say, oh man, he can't cut foam. Well, example, if you get a bad blade, what's going to happen? Probably see bits all over the place. And you also see how nasty that looks, right? That's a bad blade. I was cutting with a terrible blade. That's all right though. I can fix it. It's gonna suck to fix it because I have to sand it down a little bit, but it is what it is. So, alright, so now we have our 20 by 20 base. That's basically going to be the street. The next piece I'm going to cut is for the sidewalk and interior. And that is going to be from a 1-inch piece of foam. And one thing a little different with 1-inch foam, or half-inch foam, excuse me, is that there is this, on both sides there's this film that you'll need to peel off. You can either peel it off before you cut or after you cut, whatever you want to do, but make sure before you paint or do anything like any kind of details on it that you remove this film, or you'll hate yourself. Jay coming in with all the what's ups, but he didn't tell me what's up. Appreciate it, Jay. Alright, so this one's going to be a 14 by 15. I write everything down because I will forget it. So, I did not cut this piece straight last time, so my... So how was everybody's Christmas and holiday, whatever you had? Hope you had a good time. How was it? Micah, wave to you, my guy. Oh. Sorry, Jay. Hope everybody enjoyed it. I think all my damn blades are dull. 1 second. Oh, I got an X-Acto here. Half-inch can be cut with an X-Acto. It's not too bad. Again, just slow and steady, right? Keeping it 90-degree angle. Hey Jay, you ordered all those X-Acto blades. Did you ever get them, and what's your thoughts? They're kind of cheap, but you can't beat 300 of those blades for like 12 bucks. There we go. Cut our other side. Why does that look so... I'll cut the other side because this side looks kind of wacky. Not cut deep enough. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the film. I'll show you guys what I was talking about. Film on this side. I guess it's to protect it, but you don't see it on the other side, so it's interesting. So now we have our pick it up real quick here. We have our street. We have our sidewalk, so that'll get layered like this. So what we'll do next is I'm going to go ahead and cut the manhole cover. Actually, the drill press isn't set up, so I won't do that. I'll go ahead and glue this on, and then once that's dried, we'll go ahead and do like the sidewalk details. I can show you those real quick. So example piece. Here's the manhole cover. I'll cut that with the drill press, and then all these basically sidewalk details. Do like the aluminum foil detail to get some of that texture, and then we'll glue it on, and then we'll do the cork for the street. So grab another straight edge. Actually, I want trusty straight edge, and I guess go and identify your best looking corner, right? The piece that's going to be, you know, outward facing from your building. Probably want to put your best corner out first. Trim some of that stuff off. So I honestly think this is the best corner here. It's the cleanest, the straightest. The other stuff in the back will get cleaned up. So that's where we'll start. So there's really no exact measurement for this. I eyeball most of it. As long as it's straight, it will look pretty good. And you don't have to go terribly deep. It's just detail. It's not actual cuts. So looks like it's coming through, guys. But all right. So now we kind of have that outline that you normally see on your pavement. And then next what we'll do is start cutting those sidewalk lines, your expansion joints. And then I do, depending on the piece, you know, got a cone head. Somewhere between, that's bothering me, somewhere between 3 and 4 inches, depending on, just depending on the dial. Here I'm probably going to do 4 inches. So 4 inches, I'll just put a dash for now and then come back and then we'll actually cut the straight lines. So using our square here, we'll go ahead and make those. And these only need to go up to what would be underneath kind of the wall. So you don't have to go all the way. If you can imagine, this, your lines are only got to cut to about halfway under here because it won't be seen inside the building. And again, you don't have to go very deep. It's just enough to get the detail. We'll actually run a pencil or some kind of tool, wooden tool typically, through these lines just to pronounce them a little bit. And then they look really good once you get, you know, your wash on your final piece. So all right. Appreciate those hanging out. I know this can be kind of boring. Jay, what's going on, man? Hey, I got that red ninja. Oh, you saw. I made a post. He's been hanging out with me ever since, dude. Overseeing all the work. Now I'm just going along the front and just bring those expansion joints around the curve of the sidewalk. Trying to keep them as straight as possible. Now we'll take our pencil and we'll just slide down these lines we just cut. Doesn't have to be perfect, especially for these weathered pieces. It kind of makes it look a little better if it's a little rough. And you never see a perfect sidewalk unless it's a brand new city and or brand new pour, I guess. All right, and then we'll go through and add a little cracks and some weathering. What I'll do is actually use a sharper pen and then draw in some cracks, and then with the X-Acto dig out a few of the other cracks. How many people we got watching? 6 people. I appreciate it, guys. So, and again, there's no science to this. There's no right or wrong way to do it, just whatever looks good. In the end, most of it gets covered up, and it's only shown once you get your final wash on. So it's probably best to do your cracks after you do your texturing with a rock or aluminum foil. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and I'll redo it if I have to. But typically along like corners or these lines, I'll draw in some, you know, kind of loose cracking, nothing deep. That's typically what you see. And then on some areas where there may be higher traffic, maybe a few more indentions. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, nothing's exact. Alright, and just for the fun, we'll pop a few holes in a few places, just cause. Not too many. Alright, I'm going to go grab the aluminum ball and get this on. So, this is what I have. So I'm going to be playing with tonight. So we're going to go ahead and add some texturing. This is completely random. So write a bit with it. So anyway, we're going to add in some concrete texture here. And again, there's no science to it. You're just rolling to get texture so it doesn't look like a piece of foam. You can go crazy, you can go ham, you can do light. You can switch it up with different pieces or different aluminum balls, however you want to do it. No right or wrong. If you're creative, whatever. I will say you probably want to roll these edges a little bit. Concrete typically has a rounded edge, or you can sand it down, or you can take an X-Acto or a sharp blade and kind of peel it back to get a rounded edge, however you want to do it. For me, if I do this too long, my hands cramp up, so you'll see me get a little sloppy with it towards the end. Just because my wrist don't like to turn and stuff. I'm gonna go back through and let's run through those expansion joints again. Got a little smush down. Redefine some of the cracks. For the most part, that piece is done. That comes through, but basically that's gonna be my sidewalk for this piece. So once I get the manhole cover cut, we'll go about gluing this piece down. Actually, before I do that, I need to decide if it's going to be a left hand or right hand Dio. they want to go for the left-hand dial. And what you don't notice here is one side of the street is a little bit bigger. It's only an inch, but it makes a difference if you combine two, right? You have a larger street versus an alley. Thirsty for chicken, what's going on? So, we'll do that next. Here's an up the nose shot. So I'm gonna move these fire escapes that I'm working on. I should have been more prepared for this. Okay. Why you clean your tools after you're done, because it takes time when you go to use it next. I screwed it up a lot which side the nut goes, so I just did it again. Get it backwards every time. Good thing there's only two choices, or we'd be here all fucking night. So right here, just about is where this is going to go. So I'm just lining everything up, make sure it looks right. where I cut it, it's got to make somewhat sense. It's going to be good. Fingers out the way. Get a hole. Cool thing about these pieces, if I can get it out, doesn't want to come out, is later on you can use these to build like round columns or towers, or whatever you want to do. So you can stack these up, do some cool things with them. So I keep them for another project. All right, so you guys can't see the jack. All right, so that fits in there. So this piece is pretty much close to done. The only thing we got to do now is glue, right? Again, I see we still got 8 people, so I appreciate those hanging out through this process. It can be boring if you're just watching me build stuff and you're not. Alright, so I'm gonna move on to the glue. Jay, I'm keeping my cuts off, but now I've got a mess of pieces laying around. Oh dude, I'll take you on a little, I got pieces of foam everywhere, like tucked. Alright, sorry guys, I'm back. Yeah, so I mean half of it is keeping up with the pink foam everywhere. I had to jump off my Wi-Fi, so I apologize about the pause. So what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and that's true, you can make rocks out of it. One of the problems I have, and I think I said this before, is I don't get a lot around to personal projects. I save stuff to do them and then never get to them. Which is kind of disappointing, but then also I look back and I'm like, oh, I get to make all these great things for so many people, so that's very rewarding. Let me grab the glue. I'll show you what glue I use. I'll be right back. So a lot of people use that hot wire foam glue. I use wood glue. Only thing you want to make sure is that one, you remove the plastic from your 1/2 inch piece, and that you also kind of score up your other piece. So real quick, I am going to put on my respirator loosely and do a little bit of sanding. I'm back. So basically, you just want to get that sheen off so that you get a good stick. I can't do vein. So now that you got that sheen off, the glue should stick a lot better. It would stick good before if you guys used wood glue before, but this way it actually seeps into the pores and makes a good contact. So one thing I do use a lot of scrap foam for, and that is to push and move around glue, which can be very handy. So it's kind of like a squeegee, except you just throw it away when you're done. You don't need a lot of glue, just a thin layer. Always close your glue back, it will dry out. And then we'll just smear this around a little bit. Get up to those edges. Same thing for this piece. The good thing about this glue is if you get it on you or on something, it's water soluble, so you can get it off pretty easily. I'm sure if you eat it, it's toxic, but I mean, it's okay to get on your skin. Should be fine. YOLO. All right, so now we'll line our piece up. Make sure it's square, it looks good, push down a little bit. And then I'm gonna grab my trusty blue tape. And then we'll just secure it with some blue tape. Low tack. Like I said, a lot of this is just water soluble. You can just wipe it off when it dries, wipe it off before it dries, however you want to do it. Alright, so now that that's secured, it'll be able to dry, won't be able to move. You may want to set something heavy on it. If you got a couple warp pieces, you just have to work with a warp piece. I mean, there are ways to get around it, straighten it out with some heavier material. But other than that, screen it with some blue tape. This stuff will come off easy, won't really leave any marks or residue. So we'll set this up. And it'll be good to go until you're ready to do some primer or something like that. So really the next step for me is to get I use cork for the streets, or if you're not going to use cork, whatever texture you're going to use for your street. And then you would probably start doing your base coat. It'll be the black, whatever color you're going to use. But that piece is ready to go. So that's the base of the corner diorama. And it's 20 by 20, and this piece is 15 by 14. So now we'll tuck it away and let it dry. And that's it, guys. It was probably kind of boring. That's the first piece of the corner piece diorama. I may try to do a part 2 of this tomorrow night. I know it's getting up on 10 o'clock Eastern here. But you know what? I got a couple pieces. I'll go ahead and cut the next couple pieces. And then tomorrow night, I'll come back and I'll show you what I do with the CNC for the corner diorama. So let me grab those. So we got 2 more pieces of 24 by 24 inch pieces. first piece will be a 10 by 22. Get our ruler. Actually, we'll find our bent edge, which is right here. You can see those lines. Yep. So we'll want to get that off or cut around it. So we want a width of 10 inches. So forgetful, 10 inches. So we can definitely avoid a curve. They want a height of about 22 inches, which equates to about 2 stories. I don't have a super sharp blade that's going to annoy me. Give me 1 second, guys. I do a swap out of blades on cam, so if I cut myself, please immediately let somebody know that I trust to come get me and take me to the hospital if it's bad enough. So far, so good. Alright, crisis averted. I did not cut myself. Later, Billy. Have a great night, Bill. Probably already missed you. Alright, now I have no reason not to have clean straight cuts. I got a brand new blade, which you just saw me change. So now, if I can cut foam, this is really going to be the proof of it. Well, one run got away from me, and it's common when you have a fresh blade like that, but we can get around it. So you can see there, see how smooth that is compared to those previous cuts? So that's a good cut. All right, this piece is good. What's a shame is we could probably use this piece. If it wasn't for that bow, we could definitely use this piece. sounds smooth. It is smooth. All right, again, with this new piece, just want to identify your bow. This one's a little tricky. Not seeing the score line's way down here, but you can still avoid it. So on the second piece, we have I think it's a 12 by 22. Right, 12 by 22. All right, let's get this piece cut up. All right. One of the faults with these plastic ones is you get a lot of flex in your knife, which sucks. But I'm a cheap bastard, so comes to blades, I just want sharp blades. Quantity over quality, I guess, but all right, got pretty straight lines. Clean, straight, except the tag. So now we have our two sides fit like that together on the corner diorama. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and end it there for tonight. I know you guys are bored to death. I probably put you to sleep, so thank you for tuning in to the sleep channel. I hope you sleep well tonight. But seriously, tomorrow I'll come back and I will show you how I cut this on the CNC. It will include... Yeah, Jay, I'm ending it anyway. Thank you for hanging around. Tomorrow night I will cut this on the CNC. I'll show you guys how I do that, walk through the program, the windows I cut, and the brick I cut, and everything like that. So if you got time, tune in tomorrow. We'll have some more fun. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it, and catch you tomorrow. Bye.